Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, I want to say thank you to all of my new subbies. Thank you so much. And the compliments, loving them. I am loving them. Whoever called me their evil twin in a female form, loved it. And the compliments on articulation and my voice and my personality, I love it because I'm just a girl and I love compliments. So thank you guys so much. But more than that, I appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button, and we are almost gonna make it to 1,000. Almost gonna make it to, how to sound? We're gonna make it to 1,000. Boom, period. But thank you. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the beautiful people family. Do the like button, you guys, because it helps to push the video out to other people. And you guys, this is my second time recording this because the first time I did it, I thought I sounded awake, but I didn't. When I went to go listen back, I was like, hey, I want to thank y'all for yeah, I can't do that. So again, let's start with episode 948. Somebody called freeze. We start with Flip again. And I don't know why we keep starting with Flip, but we do. We start with Flip again. And he's talking about looking in Mark's car. And he is just really leaning into being a creep. Like, he doesn't care. He don't see anything wrong with it. And I remember like years ago, or a couple years ago, I was saying that I like how observant Flip really is, and the fact that he'll do research, and he's actually way smarter than people give him credit for. I still do think that. However, again, like I said last time, I think he's leaning more onto being super creepy. Like, why are you looking in people's cars? I'm just actually happy that I don't know him personally. I don't know him personally. He don't know any of my personal business to share on the pod, which later on, a couple pods later, him and Mona was talking about how they tell everything on the pod. Mona was just like, damn, can we not have anything that is not talked about on the pod? And he's like, well, I can't guarantee it. I can't guarantee that I can keep it to myself. And she's like, yeah, we know. And everybody was like, yeah, Flip can't be quiet. And that is not good to have. Like, it's not good to have somebody around you or somebody knowing your business that can't be quiet. But anyway, we move on to Mark telling a story about losing his mother-in-law. And then he does a hard stop. Yeah, I lost my mother-in-law, hard stop, which he knew everybody would be like, oh my God. No, he left her at church. And by the time he went back to pick her up, she was gone. She was gone. Turns out she ended up taking a cab or Uber or something back to wherever she lived. He didn't even know she knew where she lived, but it all worked out. But you guys, I got a question. Where the fuck is Mark's wife? Where is she? This was Sunday. She wasn't at work. I mean, I don't know. I don't know her business, but I'm going to assume she wasn't at work because he said he'd take his mother-in-law every Sunday. Where's his wife? Not to mention, he was late picking her up because he had to take the son to karate class, which means he had the mother-in-law and the son. Where the fuck is the wife? Like, she is just doing whatever she want to do. Just willy-nilly. She is able to dilly-dally as much as she want to and no consequences. Like, it's okay. He's just going to take him. Look, it's none of my business. It really isn't. But I need Mark to get a backbone. Tell her to take her own son somewhere. Take your own little hellion. That was what my grandma used to call us when we was bad. Stop acting like a little hellion. But yeah, like, why does he always have the kid? But again, we move because if he like it, I love it. And if she's able to get that shit off, then more power to her. We move on to Mark saying that he watched again Rihanna's performance and it wasn't great. And then we have Flip like, oh my God, what do you expect from her? And I'm like, how many passes are we giving Rihanna? We gave her a pass because she was pregnant at the Super Bowl. And now we're giving her a pass for what? Why are we giving her another pass? Like, she could just come out and do terrible performance after terrible performance. And we're just going to keep saying, oh, she got a lot of kids. Beyonce got a lot of kids. I don't have anything against Rihanna. I just feel like if she is going to keep getting on stage, be prepared. Bottom line. That's all. I mean, can I do it? Do I do it? Absolutely not. But if this is what she does or what she used to do, she should still be able to do it somewhat. Like, when I tell you this girl was leaning back and looking crazy, and when I say looking crazy, of course she looked beautiful. Rihanna's a pretty lady. But just the performance overall. But anyway, we move on. They talked about Ryan Clark getting fired, which I spoke about on my other channel. And if I could remember the name, I would insert it right here. But I'm trash and I cannot remember the name. So we move. They talked about Mandy and the fact that she doesn't want to get married because she's not broke. And I don't care. You guys, I don't care about Mandy. I don't give a shit. There's just this whole back and forth. I may as well get it all out now. Her stance is that only broke women want to get married because that's pretty much the only incentive to get married. But since she has her own money, she doesn't need to get married. Joe had something to say about it, and just coming out saying that the way she kind of carries herself or whatever, she doesn't come off as someone who wants to get married. She ended up getting offended by that, doing a live saying maybe he is mad because she wouldn't sleep with him. She don't know. So then he comes and he's super pissed off, like, don't ever say I wanted to sleep with you because I knew you back in 2008, 2009 when you were still big and not attractive and nobody wanted to. He was saying nobody tried to get with you. Basically saying that if you attempted to sleep with her, you were going to get to sleep with her. And he's like, don't say it anymore. So then she ends up coming back out, which is what I just saw when I just ran to the store. She came back out again saying that she had dropped off some food to him and he was trying to make it upstairs. And that's why she took it as he wanted to sleep with her. I don't know. I don't care. Again, I can care less about Mandy. But him saying that she wasn't marriage material. If she don't want to be married, then who cares? Like, who just really cares? But let's talk about Ish and the fact that his face, like Ish and his resting bitch face, whenever you talk about somebody that he likes, one of his friends, then he just sits there as opposed to really saying something. Say something. If you have an issue with it or you want to defend your friend, say something. But you sitting there with a tight face is not cute. But Ish has been on something the past couple weeks. Like, I don't understand what's going on with him. He's just always angry or he's not participating. So I don't know, but him and this whole, we talk about Cheyenne Bryant and the fact that she's a liar. That's something else that I don't want to really get into because I don't care. I don't care about Cheyenne Bryant. She's an idiot. And I'm sorry that they are giving her so much shine. Like the fact that they said once she came on Joe Budden, her career went downhill was hilarious to me though. I ain't gonna lie because it's true. But the lady is just a liar. And when I first saw her, she was on Basketball Wives and she was a mess then. I didn't like her immediately when I saw her because she came on there in like a professional capacity. However, she wasn't acting professional. And I was just like, who is this lady? So has just never had any couth. We move. But let's talk about Ish and the fact that he don't really know this lady. Like you did one panel with her and now she's your friend to the point where you don't want anyone to say anything about her and you have two eyes. Like you're not stupid. You can see that this lady is a liar. You don't want to call her out. If you were a true friend, you would be able to call her out. But anyway, we don't care about her. So we move on to the Patreon where we have Imani and Imani got, oh my God, when I tell you they was killing him in the Patreon comments because this man, he always make himself look crazy. He is so on the wrong side of right every single time. I swear to God. We talk about Lex and Lex P and the fact that she was dating some man who was living with a woman. He was living with a woman for 8 years and Lex P was with him for 6 years. The woman claims that Lex P knew. They didn't have their facts straight at all in terms of the timeline. I'll just say that. But Imani coming up there and just like really victim blaming and saying that this lady was clout chasing and she needs to go to counseling and she needs therapy. And why are you coming to the internet? And he is the main one that gets on this internet and cries. He is the main one that gets up there and is airing out all of his dirty laundry and how he feel about everything. He's the only one up there that tell all his feelings. Like he's always in his goddamn feelings and telling somebody else to go to counseling. Are you kidding me? This man needs therapy like no other. Like, are you kidding me? And then for him to victim blame, and I understand Lex P is a friend of the show. I love Lex P and Drea. I love them down. And apparently a lot of people do because I've seen a billion TikToks saying they don't care what she did. They not canceling Lex. So Lex is cool. But he was defending her like his life depended on it. When I tell you, he's like, well, maybe Lex didn't know and Lex didn't do this and Lex didn't do that. And I was like, dang, what's going on here? But yeah, I mean, he was just on the wrong side of right once again. But he can have his opinion, but he was the only one that was that into it. And he was just very, very aggressive with it. But the lady, I will say, in the lady's defense, I felt bad for her because I don't feel like she was clout chasing. I do feel like she was trying to fuck up Lex's situation or whatever because she felt like she messed her up and this was her opportunity to do it. So she did it. It didn't work, like I said, but I do feel like this lady is extremely hurt still. This is something that she said happened like 4 years ago, and she's still not over it. You guys can't tell people how long to grieve about something, you know? She really thought this was her person. And, you know, unfortunately, I don't know why she would still be saying that. I mean, you could say you thought that, but the fact that she can't move on is heartbreaking to me because it's like, sweetie, once he shows you that he's not your person, and all of this should have shown you that he is not your person. I understand you want to blame the other woman. It's not her fault. If he really was your person, he would have never put you in the place of being able to lose you and you choosing somebody else. Apparently, it's been 4 years. He never came back. He never said, okay, I was completely and totally wrong. You are my person. I want to make this right. Like, so he's not your person. You've got to get past it. Like she just has to. But I did feel bad for her because she did sound like she was crushed and still ready to cry after all these years, still ready to cry. But, yeah, you can't blame Lex. You can't blame Lex. So while we're talking about relationship stuff, let's just get it out the way. They also talked about micro cheating. And if you leave comments on social media, that's micro cheating. If you are having conversations or texting and sexting and stuff, basically stuff that your person or the person that you're with can't know about, you're cheating. Like, is this micro cheating stuff? No, you're cheating, and you shouldn't be doing it. But people know that. So we move. All right, next up we have episode 949, appointment viewing, where Ice talked too much. Sorry, just had to get that out there. Ice was interrupting people, talking over people. Anytime you are ready to tell a story, if Ice knows anything about that story, he is going to interrupt and talk ahead of you just to let people know that he knows what you're talking about. Like, Ice is, anyway, I'm just not going to do it. Let's move on. But there was breaking news when it first started that LeBron was going to Philadelphia. Good for them. Mark has been begging for it forever. And so I was actually happy for him. Do I know what this means? Do I care? I do not. But then we have Joe coming out and playing like 20 minutes worth of music. And it was funny because somebody in the comments called it and was just like, Joe is so petty that he didn't want to hear them talking about LeBron. So he just kept playing music forever. I was like, he sure did do that. Like 20 minutes worth of music. And then as soon as it shut off, the first thing he said was, all right, get it out because I don't want to keep hearing about it. Like, he is such a spoiled sport. Oh, my God. He was saying how he doesn't want to see, they were talking about the verses and how they got drunk or whatever. And he was saying how he doesn't want to see people go from sober to drunk. And I said, what? Really? Because I could swear that we watch people up there go from sober to drunk a lot, or go from sober to high a lot. When I come on here and I've had wine, I don't be sober first. I just come on here after I had some wine and then I have more wine. So yeah, Joe can't talk. Then we talk about Kiki Palmer and the Walk of Fame that she's getting or whatever, the star on the Walk of Fame. And for some reason, he doesn't like Kiki Palmer, which Mark kind of called him out for. Like, listen, every time we bring her up, you have something a little negative to say. And he's like, well, I already told you what that was about. I ain't going to tell you again. Yeah, because she said some allegations against Trey Songz. That's the only thing I can really think of. You don't like Meg because Meg had these allegations against Tory. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it seems like anytime a woman has allegations against a man, then Joe suddenly has an issue with the woman just out of nowhere for no reason. Because what's the reason? I'll wait. We go back to, Mona paid him back. And then we find out Flip was there, you guys. Flip said something and I was like, that sounds like Flip. And I'm not gonna lie, it was enjoyable with Flip being there. At one point, him and Mona was, talking over each other a little bit. And then Joe said, this is why they can't work together. But I don't think it was bad. I think they were fine. I think the whole thing was fine. Okay, so the final thing I want to discuss is this child support situation. And I was very surprised that Mona was saying she didn't feel like men who said they didn't want the kids should be forced to pay child support. Her stance was that if the woman said, well, I don't need you, then I'm going to have the kid anyway, then they shouldn't be forced to pay child support. And I very strongly disagree. I am sorry, but I feel like if you really, really, really don't want to have kids, then as I said, get a vasectomy, or listen, wrap it up, or pull out game got to be great, something. But it takes two to tango, and you can't just blame this woman because you suddenly don't want this kid or whatever. And regardless, she's the one that has to go through it. Even if she decides, okay, sure, I'm going to get rid of it, it's her body. She has to go have the procedure done. If she decides to have it, it's her body. So once again, this is how we get to her body, her choice. Like, you can't tell someone what to do. If you really want to prevent it, then prevent it. Like, if you feel that strongly about it, prevent it. Okay, and that's all I got to say about it. But I was very surprised on her take on that. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. Everybody has their own opinions. I'm not mad at her for it. I still love Mona. It's okay. But I was surprised. And then it was funny because Ish was like, yeah, I don't really want to say too much on it. And I'm like, you can't, because all I know is Ish. The fact that he sometimes doesn't include his first kid when he's talking about his kids or whatever and everything, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because you got two kids and you have to always, always include your other kid-ish. But again, none of my business, so we move. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you be part of the Beautiful People family. Like the video, you guys. It helps to push it out to other people. And again, I want to thank all of my new subbies. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Smooches.